Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do 4 thrift store find upcycles for you, and we are starting with this wooden frame that I thrifted. We are going to take some gold spray paint and I'm going to cover it. We do not want the pink, so we're going to get 2 coats on this frame. And then we are going to combine the vintage light fixture sitting next to it to make some beautiful home decor. Okay, this light fixture, I ended up getting this in a online auction. So it is wired for electric. It does not have all the parts to it, so we're going to cut the wiring and remove all the light pieces out of it. So we're going to make this into a candle sconce. So I've taken all the wires out, so of course it needs to be cleaned. So we're going to take it in the house and we are going to scrub this. It does take a toothbrush to get into all the little grooves and everything, but we're going to get this cleaned up and it turns out very pretty piece. I'm so glad that I did pick this up. Okay, we've got our light sconce cleaned up. It looks great. Now we are back outside to put our second coat of Rust-Oleum metallic gold paint on our frame. All right, we're back inside. The frame is dry. Our light sconce is clean, and we are going to take this piece, this thin piece of wood, to create the back insert for our frame, because this frame did not come with a back to it, nor did it come with glass. It was just the frame. So I want the background of our framed candle sconce to be black. So I am using DIY's clay-based paint in the color Little Black Dress. I'm almost sure it's Little Black Dress. And we're going to put 1 coat on it. This paint is so highly pigmented, it really did not need 2 coats. So it just took 1 coat to cover it very nicely, and we will go from there. Okay, now that our backer to our frame has been painted and is dried, we're going to set it aside and we're going to move back to the frame. Now the frame, the spray paint I used is a metallic spray paint by Rust-Oleum, and it is a little on the bright side. It looks too new. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some DIY dark wax and I'm going to rub that all over the frame and get all of that black wax down into all that crevices of the detail. This is going to add some dimension and some character to the frame and make it look more muted and a little bit more aged. Okay, now that the frame is covered with the dark wax by DIY, I'm taking a dry paper towel and I'm going to wipe off the excess, which it's pretty much just going to wipe off the high areas and it's going to leave that dark wax down in the grooves and the detail of the frame, which gives it the age to look that I'm going for. Okay, now that both of those pieces are done, I am just going to dry fit my pieces together just to see how it's looking, get an idea of where I want the vintage sconce on the board. And I'm thinking I want it all the way down to the bottom of the frame so the candle doesn't stick too far over the top of the frame when you put a candle in it. So next up, I'm just going to flip the frame over and I'm going to glue in the backing that we painted black. And I'm going to use the Star Bond CA glue. Now, you can use hot glue to do this, but I find if I use hot glue, it kind of wants to leave a gap in between the frame and the backer that you put on. So I just chose to go with the CA glue. And the accelerator, you do not need the accelerator for your Star Bond CA glue to work. The accelerator just speeds up the drying process, which I love. So I just put the glue on the back side of the frame and then I take the accelerator and I spray around the edges of the frame backer and then I just put it into place and hold it for about 5 seconds and it is adhered. Next up, I'm going to show you here, I'm pointing out the metal pieces on the vintage sconce. They're tarnished where they're more silver than gold, and I want it to match the gold frame. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking antique gold rub and buff, just putting a little bit of it on my finger, and then I'm going to rub that all over just the silver pieces of the sconce just so it blends and matches with our gold frame. Okay, somehow I missed recording the fact that on the back of the sconce is a hanging mechanism. So to attach it to the frame, all I did was put a screw through the frame backer. Right there, you can see the little screw, and that is what I hang the sconce from. Okay, moving on to project number 2. This is another thrift item that I picked up. It is a clothespin bag for your laundry. And it's got the metal wire through the top that you hang on your clothesline, and you can slide it up and down the clothesline as you are hanging your clothes out. I love these old vintage clothespin bags. I love the dirty patina on it. And all I wanted to do is do a little quick addition to it to just take it up just a notch. And I actually found these rub-on transfers from the dollar store or $1.25 store now. And this one says wash and dry. So I thought it was perfect for this bag. But I also picked out some number stamps too, just to add a little bit more of that kind of industrial vibe to it too. So here I just cut off the parts of the transfers that I wanted and laid it on the bag. And then I'm taking my transfer stick and rubbing over the transfer to adhere it to the bag. And I do that on both sides. So it has, the graphics on both sides of the bag. Okay, now that I have my transfers on both sides, I am going to take the vintage clothespins that came in the bag and I'm going to put them back in it. And this will be sold on one of my whatnot auctions. Okay, moving on to project number 3. This ink bottle I also got thrifting or at an online auction. I think it was the online auction. And there was 2 little items in it. There was no ink in it. The bottle is discolored, but inside it was this little bitty light bulb and one of the little points, they call them nibs, I think, for dipping into ink and writing. Well, we had recently, my husband had found this, I think it's a hawk feather, out in the yard. So as soon as I seen that feather, I knew exactly what I was going to do with it. So this is how quick and simple this is. I'm just adding some hot glue to the end of that nib, and I am putting the feather on it. And then I'm going to take some needle nose pliers and I'm just going to squeeze that end together just to make sure that it does not come off of our feather. And then I'm going to put the feather quill back into the ink jar. And this is going to look so cute displayed on in a little vignette on a stack of books, on a journal with some reading glasses sitting next to it. I think it's just a really cool piece to display in your home. All right, the fourth and final project for today, I am taking this thrifted brass stand pedestal. I'm not sure exactly what it was used for. I'm thinking it might have had a glass votive insert to drop down in there and then put a votive candle in it. But we're going to combine it with this old vintage Homer Laughlin plate, little saucer, I should say, and make it a cute little riser pedestal to either hold jewelry. You could put a bird nest on the top of it and use it in a vignette. You can use it to hold your jewelry and put it on your vanity or your dresser. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some E6000 and I'm going to put it around the top rim of that brass base. And we all know that E6000 does take some time for it to set up. So I am going to take my hot glue gun. I'm going to put a few dabs of hot glue on the rim of it also. And then I'm going to place that in the plate together. And then I'm going to leave that to set up overnight and let it dry. Okay, y'all, let's take a look at the final projects, guys. I hope that you guys have gotten some inspiration on some of these ideas, these thrift flips that I have put together. I hope it inspires you to shop secondhand, recreate items that match your home decor to your taste. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys will join me on the next one. I will see you then. Bye.